I guess across multiple industries. What are we seeing? I think the first point is it's a really interesting time to be leading in business at the moment. There's a lot of commentary around the pace of change and uncertainty and geopolitical change, and I think we're all accepting that. We're seeing at the moment most of our clients in the medium privately held space in New Zealand and Australia, they've now completed that sort of pivot in their strategic plan to how they can operate and thrive in a tighter market, and that just tends to be right-sizing their business, getting their structure right, some of the disciplines around role descriptions and clarity and KPIs, and that sounds simple, but in times of growth, even the best businesses can tighten that up. They're investing in their culture, so checking in, measuring engagement, making sure that their people are actively engaged in the business and they're aware of what's coming up in the next period. There's a real focus in on the cash cycle, again, a basic discipline, get that money, get the invoices out, get the money in, and because cash is king. And then there's that sort of owning that client voice, and this is a critical one that I see businesses don't typically do as well as they could. There's a real opportunity in a tight market to be really close with your good clients, understand what's going on in their business for two reasons. A, it gives you a real understanding of what the market is. But B, they're the ones that if you can solve their problems, then they're the ones that are most likely going to give you business in a challenging market. We're seeing CEOs tired. There's more focus on that respite, well-being, taking time out, bit of professional development for themselves or investment in themselves, because it's been a hard slog, and the pace of change, I think, is going to continue to be pretty high. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. The commentary in the media can be really negative, and some industries are feeling it more than others, as you predict. Some get it early, some get their recessions a bit later, but largely things are going well, and so I would say cautiously optimistic, quietly optimistic about finding our way through this. Across the board, people are eager to network with other like-minded professionals. That networking piece, we're doing a lot for our clients, and they're well attended, and there's a real thirst for that. And I think teams tighter more often, doing more scans, more regular scans strategically, more work on the business, just to be able to make sure that you're seeing what's changing in the market. What are the patterns? Getting that feedback. What does it mean for us as we move forward, so that we can be quite agile and change? Boards likewise are evolving, so more strategic, more focus on succession, more focus on managing risk, because the risk profiles of companies is changing definitely, especially those that are exporting. And lastly, I think if there's two big patterns, it's around succession planning within the organisation, which is part of risk, but also continuity and developing people, and that there's a huge investment still in developing the leaders of the future. So that organic growth, that development of talent, that development of their people, which of course feeds into succession. They're probably the biggest patterns we're seeing across all industries at the moment. If there was one thing that I'd really strongly encourage business owners or CEOs or anyone leading the business per se, is to make sure that they look after themselves and their own well-being. Keep fit, keep the professional development going, take the respite, make sure you take time off, because the old adage, lead yourself well if you're going to lead others well. And over time, where you don't take that time out, it just wears you down, you become less and less effective. So that would probably be one key takeaway.